Nicole. Welcome back to the channel. I had asked if y'all had wanted me to go back to reviewing Orly releases on the channel. You said yes, so here we are. Today's video is for the new Orly Fall 2024 collection called Terra Nova. Terra Nova is available right now in all the places where Orly is sold. The Terra Nova collection features 4 cream finishes and then 2 shimmers. One of these shimmers, I might add, was pretty dang awesome. If you are new to Orly, Orly is a US-based mainstream brand. Their polishes are in 18 ml bottles, which is an absolutely massive bottle size if you are unaware. Their polishes are 12-free, cruelty-free, as well as being vegan-friendly. I did purchase all the polishes featured in today's video through the Orly Color Pass. The Orly Fall Color Pass also comes with these nail art stickers right here. And then it also came with a bottle of Orly's peel-off base coat called One Night Stand. So I will have links to the Orly website, links to the Orly Color Pass website. Other links in the description box will be to places where Orly is sold in case you don't want to pick up the entire Color Pass. If you want to pick this release up and support me / the channel, you can also pick this release up from any of my affiliate links or from beyondpolish.com, where I have an affiliate code, which is Nicole Loves Nails. It's on the screen right now. I will also have timestamps in the description box as well. Let's just get into this video. First up, we have Rustic Root. Orly describes this one as a reddish brown shimmer. Rustic Root had a fantastic formula. I did experience a little bit of leakage in my bottle, so this was slightly on the thicker side, but not so thick that I needed to add thinner to it, but I did have to clean the neck of my bottle because it had leaked in transit. I do disagree with the color description of this polish. I did not see a tiny droplet of brown in this one. I would personally classify this one as a brick red. The shimmer in this polish is very, very subtle. I honestly was able to see it better in the bottle than I could see it on the nail. I think the shimmer in this polish leans a bit in the orange family. My full-length swatches here show Rustic Root in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. Because my bottle was on the thicker side, I did find this to be a 1-coater on me. Even though I am a little bit bummed that the shimmer in this one wasn't stronger, I did have this on for a couple of days and was actively really enjoying how it looked on me. I did not personally experience any staining, but I always will recommend wearing base coat, especially with super pigmented polishes like this one. This next polish is called Earthfire, and Orly describes it as a fiery burnt orange cream. Earthfire also had a fantastic formula. It was a little bit thinner than I found Rustic Root to be, but not so thin that I would call it watery. I did notice I had a little bit of running down the stem of my brush. Admittedly, it's been quite a while since I wore a polish from Orly that wasn't Orly Bonder based, so I can't remember if Orly is one of those brands that the polish is just more prone to running down the stem of the brush or not, but I did not personally experience any difficulty with application. I absolutely love a burnt orange. However, because this is a fiery burnt orange, this pretty much looks red on me. If you are like me and have warmer undertones, you likely will have a bit of a lobster hand situation when you go out into natural lighting, which is what you're seeing here. Even though I am disappointed that this doesn't look more orange on me, I did wear this for several days and I kind of liked how it looked, which I honestly found very surprising because usually if an orange pulls red on me, it usually immediately ends up on my shit list. My full-length swatches show Earthfire in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. I do, however, think this is going to be a 2 to 3 coater depending on your application style and personal preference. I was having one of my days when I was extra committed to making this be a 2 coater, so I went in for a slightly thicker second coat. Removal, of course, will be super easy because this is a cream finish, and I did not experience any staining. This next polish is called Gilded Dune. Orly describes it as a golden mustard shimmer. Gilded Dune had a really nice formula. This is another polish that was slightly on the thicker side. I did find it seemed to self-level a little bit slower than some of the other polishes, but it's a yellow base, so I wasn't terribly surprised by that. I was really surprised at how good coverage was. I honestly expected this to be super duper streaky, and while it was slightly streaky on the first coat, I think as long as you don't overwork this one, you won't have any issues with it. If there was a polish in this release that I could see someone having more difficult application with it, it would be this one because of the slower self-leveling. Found this one applied the best if you do minimal brush strokes as well as floating your coats on. If you go in for super thin coats, you're going to really drag the brush into the polish and cause bald spots. The shimmer in Gilded Dune was a bit more on the subtle side. It's a green shimmer. You can definitely see it clearly, but it's not a super in-your-face shimmer either, but I wouldn't say it's a blink and you miss it shimmer. I did have a little bit of visible nailing with this one in 2 coats, but I didn't think it was bad enough to get me to do a 3rd coat, so I will call this one a 2 to 3 coater depending on application and personal preference. I did not personally experience any staining with this polish, but I also only had it on for like 20 minutes tops. It also dries down a little bit flat, so you will definitely want top coat for a glossy finish. This next polish is called Skystone, and Orly describes it as a teal cream. Formula on this one was pretty good. It was a little bit runny, not so runny that I would call it watery, but runny enough that I did have some dripping down the stem of my brush. My leggings that I was wearing the day I was swatching this one now have a lovely dot of teal on them. On the first coat, this is a little bit on the sheer side, but overall coverage is not bad at all. My full hand swatches do show this one in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. This is a very blue tone leaning teal, not so blue tone that I would say it would get mistaken for blue. In my opinion, it's definitely in the teal family. I will admit, I do kind of wish this was just a smidge darker. I don't know how helpful this color description is going to be, but this kind of reminds me of like a Perry the Platypus shade of teal. I did not personally experience any staining with Skystone, but I often find teals are a large stainer for me personally, so make sure to wear base coat if teals tend to stain you. This next polish is called Starlit Shale, and Orly describes it as a violet purple cream. Starlit Shale is another polish that I found a little bit sheer and uneven on that first coat, but I did find it built up perfectly for me in 2 coats. I honestly didn't realize that mainstream brands released this kind of purple cream every year for fall collections until I started swatching fall collections. For whatever reason, ever since I had the Grimace Shake last year, I keep looking at dark purples as Grimace purple, and this feels like it's in the Grimace family to me. I don't know if neutral purple is a thing, but I did not find this to be a warm tone or a cool tone purple, so I'm gonna call it neutral. At least on me, it pulled kind of neutral, which I do appreciate because I don't always love a warm tone purple. I find they look kind of weird on me sometimes. So that is Starlit Shale in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. I did not personally experience any staining with this one, but I would recommend the soak off method just so you're not scrubbing the pigments into your nails. And the final polish in this collection is called Bedrock Bloom. Orly describes this one as a fuchsia cream. I don't know why, but for some reason for the live swatch, this is pulling super red tone. If you want to see a more color accurate representation of this one, pay attention to my full hand swatches. When I write my notes for swatches, I write my notes before I go outside for my natural light shot. So in my notes, I said not fuchsia, definitely berry. I did not see what Orly meant by fuchsia until I brought this one out into natural lighting. Bedrock Bloom had the thinnest formula out of the bunch. I found this one to be exceptionally runny. I still wouldn't call it watery, but definitely on the thinner side. This also was the sheerest polish out of the bunch. My full hand swatches show Bedrock Bloom in 2 coats plus glossy top coat. As I mentioned earlier, I was super committed to making things a 2-coater, and while I did see some nail line in person, I feel like my cameras are picking up the nail line a lot stronger than my eyes were in person. So while I was really happy with 2 coats, I will still call this one a 2 to 3 coater depending on how you feel about visible nail line. I did not personally experience any staining with this one, but I always recommend wearing base coat. Alrighty, so final thoughts. Color story wise, fantastic. I feel like Orly almost always does a really good color story. It might not always be a seasonally appropriate color story, but it's always a good color story nonetheless. However, I do think that the Terra Nova collection does have a very like fall appropriate color story. I do kind of wish that we had a little bit more variety in this release. I feel like because we have 4 creams and then 2 shimmers, and both of the shimmers are kind of like a shimmer in a cream base, that it's all kind of the same. However, I was still really happy with this release. Like, I feel like my brain is just like, I wish there was glitter, I wish there was glitter, I wish there was glitter. But I feel like for a release that's all cream finishes, this was really nice. I was really happy with all the formulas as well. I think my top picks from this release, which probably are not going to be a surprise, are going to be Gilded Dune is likely going to be my top pick from this release. I really like the shade of yellow. Initially, I was a little disappointed when I saw that there was a shimmer in here. Do I wish the shimmer was a little bit stronger? Yes, I do. However, I really like this shade of yellow, so the fact that the shimmer is not like super in your face, it's not blink and you miss it, but it's close. But I do still like it a lot, even though I wish this didn't have shimmer. But then again, I also recognize I probably have enough mustard yellow, so having a mustard yellow with a green shimmer probably makes it slightly more unique to my collection. And then my second top pick is going to be Skystone. It is teal. I love me a teal come fall time, so that's why this made it in here. When I was swatching these, I honestly was unsure if Rustic Root or Earthfire was going to make it as my top pick. Honorable mention, not my top pick, honorable mention. The only reason why Earthfire is not making it in as my honorable mention is because in the bottle, like, it's It's a really nice fiery orange, but unfortunately because of my undertones, like it just looks red. I feel like everyone who has seen me wear this is like, oh, what's that red you're wearing? I kind of hate that. I wish I saw this. Because I haven't done an Orly review on the channel for a little while, I do just want to talk about the price point on Orly. In general, Orly polishes are priced at $10.50 for an 18 ml bottle. They have the largest bottles that I am aware of in the nail polish space. I only know of one other brand that has a 17 ml bottle, and that would be, what are they called again? I think that's Victorian Varnish that has a 17 ml bottle, but they're an indie brand, so it's not really the same. It's not the same. Out of the mainstream brands, Orly definitely has the largest bottle size. They also have a fantastic paddle brush, which we all love. Well, I guess most of us love. Not all of y'all love it, but I love it, so that's what's important.
I said what I said!
Just joking. I'm just kidding. We all can have personal preferences. At the time of recording, this collection is also available on BeyondPolish.com, which is one of my favorite places to shop for mainstream, indie, as well as boutique nail polish brands. Currently, those polishes are $10 on the Beyond Polish website. If you use my affiliate code Nicole Loves Nails, you can save an additional 10% off of those. But again, the cheapest price point to get Orly polishes is through the Orly Color Pass. Orly Color Pass is Orly's subscription box. Mainstream brands, I wish more of y'all did this, by the way, if you're watching. And the Color Pass basically is a way to get all of Orly's 4 main collections. You do not get the Orly breathable line polishes in this. It's just the Orly core line. And you get all 4 6-piece releases throughout the year. The least expensive way to pay for a Color Pass is through the annual subscription. The annual subscription is priced at $119, which is give or take a 50% off discount off of the entire thing. But again, with Color Pass, you do also have to get all 6 polishes, and you are not able to skip Color Pass at all. So basically, when your Color Pass ships, you won't even know what it looks like yet. So that's kind of a negative if you don't want to be getting random nail polishes. Up until when I canceled my Orly Color Pass, I subscribed to Color Pass for quite a few years, and overall I have been very happy with the Color Pass. But I also recognize for a lot of folks that you don't want to be getting 6 polishes every 3-4 months and you don't know what you're gonna get until they arrive. I will say though, if you don't like cream finishes, you probably should skip on getting the Color Pass because the majority of what Orly does release in these are creams. So I would love to know what folks thought of this release. Are you planning on picking it? Have you already picked it up? Do you subscribe to Color Pass? Let me know. Depending on how this video does, I'll know whether or not I'm going to be buying the Orly fall collection for the breathable line. If this video does well, then I will pick those up. That way I know folks want me to keep reviewing other Orly releases because I don't get PR from Orly anymore. So it's a little bit spendy. So please make sure to like the video, comment, share, subscribe if you want me to review more Orly polishes because it makes it a bit easier knowing that people want to see it so I can justify purchasing the releases. Thanks! Before we end today's video, I want to give a very special shout out to some people who definitely helped pay for these releases. Shenanigang, just thank you guys so much for the love and support. Names, of course, all on the screen right now. If you would like to sign up for my channel memberships, there is a link, of course, in the description box, or you can click join next to the subscribe button. If you don't want to join the channel memberships, hitting subscribe also helps out the channel a ton. So just thank you all for joining me for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and please, seriously, if you made it this far, please like and comment for engagement. I'm honestly kind of scared that because so many of these reviews have gone up already, I'm a little scared nobody's gonna watch this one. So please help for engagement. Have a wonderful week, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!